Welcome to the women's emerging final. Northwest Blades against CSSC Sirens. Blades getting us underway, attacking the line to your right in the red, white and black. CSSC Sirens in those purple, pink and white jerseys. 20 minutes between one of these teams and the emerging women's championship. Alongside me for this one, Hannah Crisp. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Feels like literally only minutes since we've had you in co-commentary.
I mean, I haven't moved, so it's north-south showdown we got going on here.
Who are you backing? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. We're not partisan here. You are very neutral indeed.
I am.
Already had CSSC Sirens on pitch number 1 already today. They played against Oxford Barbarians and they lost 1-0. Incredibly close. Defences were on top.
Got a chance to redeem themselves here.
Players to keep your eye out for the Sirens. Gabrielle Appleton, number 7, tall player, good organiser. Northwest Blades over on pitch number 2. Scored a very, very late touchdown indeed to get themselves into this final, and they're attacking with some energy here. Good pace through the middle.
Jo Edgerton running on. Normally a Wigan girl.
It's one of the things I like about these competitions is if somebody's short, somebody else will jump in and help them.
That's what we said before about everyone being pals. Yeah, I've got someone to jump in.
I think everyone just wants the sport to evolve and for the
definitely.
competitions to be good and strong, which they are.
Yeah. Okay, there.
Mistake there. Sometimes you see that, people coming fresh out of the box, looking to make an
Not
immediate
quite ready
impact.
for it.
Well, they're exchanging them. These two teams, a let off for the Sirens. I think there are other teams, other sports teams called Sirens, aren't there?
The netball.
The netball?
Yeah, Scotland Sirens, I think they are.
Of course.
Yeah.
Play at the Emirates in Glasgow.
It is, exactly. Exactly that. Beautiful city.
Beautiful city.
Not quite Edinburgh.
Hosting the European Games in August,
in
actually.
Summer. There's a lot of sports activity kicking off up in Scotland these days. After the Commie Games, it's good for us.
If anyone finds themselves at the track cycling at the European Games, then you might hear a familiar voice.
Are you commentating?
I'll give you a clue, it's me.
Wow. I think I got tickets for that.
What, the track cycling?
Yeah, big fan.
Really?
Used to track cycle back in the day.
Oh, I love that sport. But anyway,
Meadowbank.
I love the outdoor one.
Yeah,
wow.
Horrible when you fell on it though, mind.
They're all horrible when you fall on them, but
bit like this ground.
It's even more horrible with Meadowbank because sometimes it rains
through.
as we get a burst through the middle all the time for the line. The referee checks both ways and awards the score. That is a sensational individual effort. Jade Aspinall breaks the deadlock. Well, she's danced around 1, stepped around 2, and then won the foot race with the 3rd. And it's Northwest Blades 1, CSSC Sirens 0.
Brilliant. Start to the final. Good first score. Tale of things to come, hopefully.
Well, the teams have swapped ends. They decided against it in the men's match previously, but every time we get a touchdown, the teams will turn it around, and goodness me, that is a marvellous finish.
That was a brilliant finish, and a dive to score it as well. If she hadn't dived, she wouldn't have been in. Marginal.
I wonder if she knew that or she was just going for the highlights reel.
See if she makes it.
4 minutes gone. Blades 1, Sirens 0.
It's got a warm day out there, especially when you're running around 20 minutes off the trot.
From a player's perspective, are these good conditions to play in?
They are lovely. Almost perfect. There's very little wind. It's a nice temperature as well. It's hot, but it's not the kind of hot where you can't breathe, which is good. So yeah, it's lovely. No rain, obviously, always a bonus.
So moving towards the Euros, more of this, please.
Yes, more of this, please. Be quite happy with this for 4 days.
And in terms of personal preparation,
yep.
How's that all going?
It's going well. So we've got one more camp coming up for Scotland Women's Open before we hit Euros. Getting the girls together, as I mentioned before, quite a young side. So it's a lot of learning still, but it's going really well. Girls are all gelling. It's a good team atmosphere, which is always fun. Spend a couple of weekends with your pals.
So talk to us about those weekends, because we had Jordan Melling in co-coms earlier,
yes.
and he was saying that the England boys went on pretty much a Bear Grylls expedition in Gloucester.
Sent into a field.
And it was savage, and they were carrying each other up hills and down valleys. Are the Scotland women's ones similar? Or?
Not quite that extreme, but we have had scavenger hunts and kind of team puzzles that we've had to solve and things in the evenings. Karaoke nights, that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more relaxing than a
bit of Monopoly, some cards, pop some corn, play some dominoes, that sort of thing.
Yep. So it is a lot of fun, and I think actually a team is only as strong as its players are together.
Of course.
So knowing each other really well and trusting each other, being friends always helps on the field. So the more you can do to get that cohesion, the better.
And across sports, you know, how many teams have you seen over the years that are more of the sum of their parts?
Yeah, exactly. And you can have one individual great player, if no one's there to back her up and play around her, then she'll be able to do very little. I think that's what we see a lot in touch as well, because it's very much a team. You have to work for each other in a team game. That went quite forward, actually.
I actually thought that Jade Aspinall was about to hand that ball over, but no.
Play the whistle, I guess.
They've got away with one. This is the last touch. Needs to go one more, or does it? No, it's opened up.
Right through the middle.
Gaping holes in the Sirens' middle, and Blades double their advantage. Well, it's a confident finish. He just drifted into that gap.
And again, we see the importance of the dive.
Blades 2, Sirens
really
0.
Conditions, it's horrible today.
They're good for the lead, 2 Blades, 2 opportunities, 2 scores.
2 opportunities, 2 scores. It's important to convert these opportunities. It's how the game can change quite quickly. Now you've got CSSC chasing as we had in the previous game. So let's just hope they play their game and keep quite relaxed here.
Yeah, when it's 1 score, you always believe, don't you? But when it's 2, you think, oh, we need a turnover here, we need this, we need that.
Yeah, just that bit more pressure.
And I talk about this quite regularly, but unlike other sports, there's not really an outlet valve. Say in rugby union, for example, if you're under pressure, you can kick it 50 metres up the field.
Relieve the pressure a bit. And
if you're playing football and you're a central midfielder, you just clatter someone and try and lift your team that way. But but the only way to do it in this sport is to run hard and complete your sets.
Absolutely, force a turnover somehow.
Bust your lungs.
Yeah, everyone's favourite. Just keep running. I think it's a really fitness-based sport, and it is great for your fitness. I always see a massive improvement in my fitness when the season starts, but games as well you can never really replicate them in training, the intensity that you find.
Perhaps another forward pass there, but it's gone to ground anyway, so the ball ends up back with the Blades. 2-0 to the good.
Can take this advantage. I don't know if CSSC have got everyone on the field just now.
But that's the point.
That there is number 2 is we call her Noggs. She used to play Scotland senior mixed. Now transferred. I believe she's playing England this year at Euros.
Multi-international.
Yeah, she's actually Irish. So what can you say, eh?
Busy grandparents.
She does live in the Manchester area, so she's a fully fledged English person now. It's not that she'll enjoy me saying that.
Oh my goodness me. You can get away with it because you're part of the Touch family, I suppose.
Exactly.
Approaching the halfway point of this one, Sirens need a little bit more go forward. They've got Appleton on the ball. She's the organiser, and they've won a penalty.
See if they can pull this back a bit. relieve some of that pressure we were speaking about. Full set of 6.
Well, there's the first touch. Here's Appleton on the ball. He's got Frost to her left. 2 touches. Oh, but you can't make mistakes there.
It's tough, and when you get a turnover there in a full set of 6, you really have to use all your touches. Take the most and be patient.
Just over 9 minutes to go then. CSSC Sirens 2 scores down to Northwest Blades in this women's emerging final. It's a 20-minute match.
These lines are confusing me. I keep thinking that's a sideline.
Oh, it's a lovely step. And a bit of room around the outside. This could be the break that they needed, the quality that they needed. Oh, but the touch. Well, this is confusing. We've not had a signal from the referee, but the ball's going back to the middle, I think. Sirens have scored.
Right back in it. 2-1 now.
And it's Emily Frost making up for the error that she made in trying to shovel that ball to Appleton. But there she goes, stepping round the outside. 1 step, 2 steps, race to the corner. Looked a certain score. I don't know why there was the delay from the match officials.
I think the referee was worried about just possible obstruction in the middle. When she ran around the back, but obviously deemed there was no disadvantage to the defence for that. So,
well, we've seen them
given. Yeah,
we've seen them given, but it does make for a much more exciting climax.
Much more exciting. 2-1 now, just 1 in it. Playing around with the defence here.
The Sirens, having scored, have just given away a penalty, so it's a fresh set of 6 here for the Blades. The opportunity to regain some composure.
Let's use all 6 here, not throw it away on the first few. Patience, patience is a virtue.
So sometimes we see players stepping back to give themselves some space to set something up. Is there a sort of optimal distance from the line you want to be?
So I think sometimes it depends on the refs and how big they like to make their 5s, because defence have to be brought back at least 5 metres. Sometimes refs like to bring you 8, 9, sometimes 10. So you've got to find that limit with your ref. I personally like something 8 or 9 out, because I like quite a dynamic game. It's something I like to run. But yeah, it kind of depends what plays you're looking to run and how big the refs' 5s are.
If you feel as though the ref's bringing you back quite a long way, do you ever think about maybe opening a dialogue with them?
Oh, I always try and restrain myself from opening a dialogue with the referee. I think at the end of the day, it's their discretion. And the only thing I think I would call out on is maybe at halftime if your refs have differing 5s. So if one ref is giving a 5 metre 5 and the other is giving 8, there's a lot of discrepancy there, and different attacks at different advantages. But yeah, I think you just play the ref and hold your tongue.
Penalty here for CSSC. Here's an opportunity for them. As Hannah Crisp keeps mentioning though, set completion. They need to use all 6 here. They've had 1 of them. It's a long way round. In a game like touch, you need to be Linford Christie quick to get that far around.
To get round there, I know. It's a lot about running straight, I think, is actually more of a benefit here. If you can hit holes. Well held by the winger.
Oh, and then it goes to ground. Sirens, their own worst enemy sometimes.
Yeah, just put less pressure on yourselves and complete sets, execute passes and plays.
2 touches.
Good run there.
Yeah, just that little bit of evasion to take them up. Over halfway and a lovely darting run. That's 4 touches. Half goes for the line, makes the pass. This is the last one. Oh, and have they made that?
Looks like she's getting a telling off.
Yeah, I thought that.
You're in the wrong place.
Did you make the touch?
Score was given.
Well, we're going back to the middle. Blades 3, Sirens 1. 5 minutes to go. It's a long way back now for Sirens. 2 scores. Not necessarily insurmountable, however.
It's going to take a lot to get them back from that now. Hard running and composure, set completion like we spoke about before. Keeping the Blades off their line as well when they're attacking.
Tell you what, dropping that ball is it's a risky game, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
To place it down, sometimes referees are going to ping you for that.
Yeah. It's a good shot there. Shot down from Blades. Going to have another crack at the attack. Good offload.
Well, they've coughed the ball up again, so Sirens with another opportunity. Speed walking that one into the first touch. Hollywood seeking the touch, so receiving the ball back, and just want to see somebody hit a line hard and fast.
Really good link hole, like we saw in the game before with that score. Hitting a really nice link hole, just makes gaps all over the field.
Of course, you've got one more match on pitch number 1.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
News to me. I just go where I'm told at the time I'm told.
You've got hot custard.
Yep.
Right here. It's going to be a 20-minute game. How are you feeling about that one?
Good. I think that'll be. So we had a really good second half against them in our first game. So we played them already today, and I think for us it's about going out the way starting the game the way we went out the last game, and hopefully we'll be able to get the win this time. It's like a chance for redemption, you know. So do you feel as though there have been improvements as the days gone on? Yeah, significant improvements. So I think hopefully the game we play in our next pair, we've got 2 20s, one against Galaxy, one against Custard. So I think we'll see a very different team to the one we saw on field 1 first up this morning. Well, this afternoon, but still the morning for us.
Well, the London teams came up early this morning. When did you arrive?
I actually came down on Thursday.
Oh, what?
Yes, my other half is in Wigan, so plays for Wigan.
That's you're practically a full-time touch player.
I know. So I just came up and I just drove half an hour from Wigan this morning. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
What a life.
It's quite a nice. I mean, I worked from home yesterday.
No one really works from home.
That's debatable. Sometimes I think I get more done at home than I do at work, and then I tell myself I'm kidding myself. Really.
I do too. Drink tea, biscuits, go on eBay. Anyway, 90 seconds at this final remaining. CSSC Sirens, they've had plenty of territory, but not really had that cutting edge required. But if they do manage to get one here, we're set up for a grandstand finish. They're knocking on the door. But again, that final pass lets them down.
And again, it's the hole hitting. You need someone hitting that hole there and one on the outside, giving options to the passer. I think if they could find somebody in the middle who could dictate the play and literally march people around the field, then they might take a few more chances. Not necessarily convert them, but at least give themselves the opportunity to do so. I'm just going, that's a lovely pass, but they're brought back. I think the touch was called on Aspinall. I thought for a second like she could be in for another one of those breaks. For another dancing around the middle. Twinkle toes. It was Jade Aspinall that opened the scoring with that fabulous individual effort. The Sirens, I think if they score now it'll be no more than a consolation. Oh, but it's been picked off. It's been picked off, and this will be the final nail in the coffin. The chase is on, it needs a dive, and it gets one.
Northwest Blades are going to win the Women's Emerging Trophy. And they've scored that through Nikki Wise right on the siren. Blades 4, Sirens 1. And we don't see them very often, but when we get those length of the field interceptions, they're always exciting.
Edge of the seat stuff here.
Well, congratulations, Northwest Blades. Commiserations to the Sirens, and thank you, Hannah Crisp, for joining us.
More than welcome.
Good luck against Hot Custard later on.
Thank you.
Jen Jones, victorious captain, coach, all-round guru from the Northwest Blades.
Don't know about that.
The smile says it all, taking home the Emerging Women's Cup title from Manchester today. Happy?
Yeah, very. I mean, a lot to be proud of. It was really good. We came third last in NTS 1, so our goal was to take it. We did.
Yeah, so you said the goal was to take it. How did you go about achieving that over the last 2 weeks?
We didn't do a lot other than a WhatsApp group to get everyone here. We know each other all quite well from playing in different leagues and mixed throughout the year, so we just put everyone together and it's worked out really well.
Yeah, as far as the WhatsApp group, sometimes this discussion almost as good as a training session in terms of to get stuff sorted in terms of how you want to play.
Yeah, I think these days what's coming through all of the clubs is really similar. So you can say to any group of people, do a 32 drag and run a short, and they all know what that means. So it doesn't matter who you put on the end of that ball so long as they know what they're doing, and that's coming through every aspect of the game, which is really cool because previously it was hard if you'd play with people that you didn't know, and now you can put 16 girls together from 4 or 5 different clubs that have never played together before and win a competition.
Yeah, what's the standard like up in the Northwest? Is it increasing year after year?
Massively. I mean, I think we've always struggled at nationals, and I think that's because up here the clubs tend to play more mixed, and women's hasn't necessarily always been good fun. And today everyone's just had a great time, so hopefully that means there'll be more influence in playing women's, because they've all loved getting on the ball and getting to be on the end of those plays that they don't get to in mix. So that's really nice to see.
Obviously, nationals is going to be a step up for you. But does winning a tournament like this make your life difficult when it comes to selection later in the year?
Massively. There's been a couple of girls here today that have really, really proved themselves beyond what I had expected. I'd not seen them play before, and it's really nice to see them just step up and rise to that challenge. They're going to get thrown into the elite pools tomorrow, so 40-minute games will be good training for nationals, and we'll see how everyone copes with that. But I think certainly the format of NTS going to 40-minute games has also helped that as well. Everyone's a bit more conditioned for that than they were before.